The BIG Halloween Eshop sale of 2024 is here, and it's a sale so huge, it's taken me a few days to kind of sort through it all. There's over 1,000 games on sale, but don't worry, I got you covered as I sorted through and picked out the highlights for you. There's over 40 games featured in today's video. It's a lot, so let's get to it. What better way to celebrate Halloween than building your own cult of followers and sacrificing them for the greater good? That's Cult of the Lamb, or at least a part of it. In this game, you gotta build your own flock of followers, take care of them, give them shelter, do your preaching and sacrificing, while also fighting off the unholy dead in the nearby realms to satiate the desires of the being who saved you from death. Yeah, it's a little bit Animal Crossing, a little bit Binding of Isaac, with a whole lot of twisted fun thrown in. I highly recommend this one, it's great, and the developers have been putting out new updates and content too for this game, so new additions are being added all the time. For $12.49, I think it's a worthy pickup for sure. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective was an excellent puzzle game for the DS that had you playing as a recently deceased ghost who has gained supernatural powers, but also has lost his memory. In the game, he needs to rediscover his memory and figure out how and why he died. The core gameplay is broken up between two parts. One has you gathering clues, sorta almost like something out of the Ace Attorney series, while the other part has you saving lives through your actions, almost like solving a complex puzzle. The Switch version has remastered visuals, as well as a remastered soundtrack, and even adds some bonus features, like a gallery mode. This game is a really fun adventure game. I love the mystery elements, the humor especially, and the gameplay. Definitely check out the demo if you haven't yet, and if you want to pick it up, now is a great time, as it's down to a brand new low price of $14.99. The Mummy Demastered is a 16-bit Metroidvania from the developers at WayForward. The game takes place during the events of the Mummy film that came out in 2017. Now don't worry though, this game is much better than the film. The game has you playing as an unnamed soldier fighting against the evil forces of the mummy. Unlike most Metroidvanias, this one incorporates a lot of run and gun action into the mix. It's almost Contra-like, with the many projectile weapons that you can obtain and use. I like it, it's a lot of fun, and the game is pretty challenging, so expect to get your butt kicked quite a bit. If that doesn't bother you too much, then this is a great treat for Halloween. It's on sale for a brand new low price of $5.99 via the latest sale. The Little Nightmares series was some really good, spooky-themed puzzle platformers from Bandai Namco. The first two games have you trying to escape an entity called the Maw, while solving environmental puzzles and avoiding or dealing with monstrous enemies. The games have earned a lot of praise and awards. First two games are on sale in a bundle for just $14.99 via the latest eShop sale, a big discount from the usual MSRP price. White Day, a Labyrinth named Skull, was a South Korean survival horror game that was released back in 2001. It ended up being a cult hit, and many years later, it got remade and eventually found its way to the Switch. Set in 2001, players control a new transfer student at a high school who sneaks into the school to prepare a White Day surprise for his crush. After he enters the school, things turn upside down, and he'll now need to evade murderous entities, as well as deal with ghosts to survive and escape with his life. Who knew love could be this deadly? This is a good, thrilling game for the spooky season. It's on sale for a brand new low price of $10.49 via the latest eShop sale. CARRION is a reverse horror game. What's that exactly? Well, instead of running away or fighting against the horror, you are the horror. You're the monster. Yes, this Metroidvania has you playing as a creature, terrorizing a facility with the task of consuming all within. It's a really cool, unique game that's perfect to play for Halloween. It's on sale in the eShop at a brand new low price of just $4.99. Halloween Forever is a little 8-bit Halloween-themed platformer where you play as a dude named Pumpkin Man who must fight his way through various spooky sites, a haunted house, a graveyard, and such. Why? Because it's Halloween. I mean, I really don't know. But it's fun for what it is. It's a simple yet fun game. It's one of the better flat-out Halloween-themed retro-style games out there. Also, it has a pretty cool theme song. It's on sale for a brand new low price of $2.49 during the Halloween sale. Another good game that's perfect for Halloween is Pumpkin Jack. In this game, you play as the cursed trickster, Stingy Jack, to take out a wizard who aims to bring the end of the curse of the Eternal Night. Basically, what you gotta do is you gotta hack and slash your way to ensure that the Cursed Kingdom stays that way. It's a fun game that's definitely inspired by PlayStation's Medieval series, and this one is a real treat to play for Halloween. It's on sale for $7.49 until November 7th. In Love School Days, you run for your dear life from a fellow student named Machina, who has gone mad with jealousy. You gotta move through the dungeon-like hallways of the school while Machina breaks through walls, kicks down doors, and even crawls through the air ducts to try to chase you down in this survival horror game. This was an indie cult hit for PC and arrived on the Switch late last year. It's on sale for $4.19, perfect for those who want a survival horror game that is a bit out of the ordinary. Inscryption is an absolutely trippy experience, which makes sense since it's from the creator of Pony Island and the Hex, and if you played those games before, then you know that strange is par for the course. Combining deck building and cards with roguelike gameplay, puzzles, and psychological horror, yeah, this is a crazy game. And sadly, I can't say too much because of spoilers, but let's just say if you like deck building games, or tabletop stuff, as well as the horror genre, then you definitely need to check this out. It'll leave an impression on ya. It's on sale for $7.99 until November 1st. Bleak Sword DX is an action RPG that combines 8-bit style graphics, but uses it in a 3D isometric space. It looks really striking, it's very cool. The gameplay revolves around exploring, as well as upgrading the character and abilities as they deal with enemies and challenging bosses. Now, the gameplay is not all about simple attacking and defending. You're going to need to dodge, counterattack, and parry attacks and more to survive. It's a little bit Souls-like. It's a game that looks really cool, with some solid gameplay to back it up. Its horror aesthetic fits perfectly with the Halloween season too, so check it out if you're interested. It's just $4.99 on the eShop. Lost Ruins is part survival game, as well as part Metroidvania. You play as a young woman who finds herself in a strange place without any memories. You need to use magic, weapons, and more to try to survive, as well as to take on enemies and big bosses. Featuring some nice and well-animated pixel art, as well as some fun combat weapons to use, Lost Ruins seems like a fun adventure to play through for Halloween. It's back on sale at its all-time low price of $9.99. Animal Well is a Metroidvania that looks absolutely cool. Its premise is simple. You play as a blob who explores a labyrinth filled with animals. You'll encounter puzzles that you need to solve, but also lots of just interesting and sometimes creepy moments. The game, while having pixel art, boasts some impressive graphics, mainly with its use of effects, such as lighting, fog, and water, as well as the sound design in this game is incredible. Make sure to use headphones when you play this game. There's so many little elements that you'll hear, and you appreciate it better this way. This game turned out to be one of the best indie game hits of the year, based on reviews and accolades it's received. It's on sale for the first time ever on the eShop at $19.99 until November 1st. Halloween time is the perfect time for some survival horror games, and SIGNALIS is one of Switch's very best, combining 3D animation with a unique perspective, often with top-down and isometric viewpoints. It certainly looks different from other survival horror games, but the elements for it are all there. There's a spooky setting, puzzles to solve, and combat against deadly creatures. This game got rave reviews for its gameplay, graphics, and style, and it's one of the best indie horror games to come out in recent memory. So if you're in a mood for some spooky fun, then look no further, because SIGNALIS is a winner. It's on sale for $13.99 until November 1st. Our second game from developers WayForward on this list, Spidersaurs, is an arcade-like run-and-gun game where you need to take on dinosaur spider hybrid creatures who are rampaging and causing destruction. That sounds like something out of a Sci-Fi Channel movie or something. The game features some really nice cartoon-style graphics, fun run-and-gun gameplay, similar to the Contra games, and a local 2-player co-op. It's a good game for all ages. This is on sale for a brand new low price of $6.99 via the latest sale. Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun is a fun boomer shooter FPS that allows you to be a space marine and destroy everything in your path. I mean, what more could a Warhammer fan want? I really like the look of this game. It has a nice pixel aesthetic, but it's highly detailed, and the game is just visceral with all the blood and destruction. It's good stuff, and one of the better Warhammer-themed games out there. The Warhammer 40,000 Boltgun Forges of Corruption Edition includes the expansion too with the game, which adds 5 new levels to blast through, as well as 2 new weapons to use at your disposal. It's just $19.99 via the latest sale. Bulletstorm was one of my favorite shooters for the PS3. I really loved the over-the-top action that rewarded players for being creative with their kills and shooting. The Switch Edition, dubbed the Duke of Switch Edition, is a fantastic way to play the game. It looks great on the system, and it includes the ability to play as Duke Nukem, the legendary man himself, through the whole campaign, fully voiced and all. Even if you played the game before, it's totally worth playing again as Duke. One of my favorite shooters, I cannot recommend this one enough. It's great and it's absolutely worth getting at $7.49. If you owned either Doom 1993 or Doom 2 Classic in the past on the eShop, then you automatically have access to the new upgraded version of Doom plus Doom 2. That's right, you get it absolutely free if you own the older versions of the Doom games. That said, if it's not free for you, then getting Doom plus Doom 2 is a no-brainer at $3.99. This upgraded release blows the old ones away. The games are now running on the Kex engine, and it includes online cross-platform deathmatch for up to 16 players, a new deathmatch pack featuring 25 maps, loads of accessibility options and quality of life features, and of course upgraded visuals and modern controller support with gyro aiming too. Basically, it's the definitive way to play these classics on consoles now. And with that said too, what better way to spend Halloween than going to hell and shooting demons in their face? If you do like the Doom games, then I consider Doom 64 to be a must-get. Often mistaken for an N64 port of the original Doom, this game is actually its own sequel in the series, and it's a really fun shooter. Set after Doom 1, 2, and Final Doom, you as the Doom guy travels back to hell to fight off the demons who have begun to mutate. This release here on Switch is the remaster with updated visuals, modern controller support, loads of quality of life features, and even includes the new Lost Levels expansion, which adds additional missions to the game that help connect Doom 64 to the other Doom games in the series. For just $1.99, it's a no-brainer for any boomer shooter lover. The Turok Trilogy bundle is a great value too, as it contains all 3 Night Dive Studios remasters of the classic Turok games that were popular games for the N64 and PCs back in the late 90s. The gameplay in these games are kinda boomer shooter-like the Doom and Quake games, but they also have elements of exploration and puzzle solving. These are fun games, and they have multiplayer too, which was a big selling point back then. That said, don't sleep on the single-player adventures, they are good too. The Night Dive remasters include upgraded visuals, lots of quality of life features, modern controller support, and online multiplayer for up to 16 players. As much as I played the originals and loved them, the remasters are the way to go now. They are a huge improvement. The bundle is on sale for a brand new low price on the eShop of $20.99, which is the price right now of the third game by itself. So yeah, get the Trilogy pack, you'll save a lot. The Metro games are some really good first-person shooters, perfect for Halloween, as they have elements of survivor horror included in the story and presentation. Set in a world where survivors have taken refuge after nuclear war has devastated the Earth, players must traverse the tunnels under Moscow while fighting off opposing humans and horrific mutant enemies and monsters. Both games, Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light, have great stories to tell, with some terrific gameplay to back it up. On Switch, both games run very well, without a hitch, and they are definitely worth picking up for those who are craving a good shooter as well as a horror-themed game for the system. You can get the Metro Redux pack, which includes Metro 2033 and Last Light Redux, for just $4.49. A pretty incredible deal. The BioShock games are actually something that I'm playing through right now for the month of October, specifically the first game at the moment. While not true horror themed, they are sort of horror, sci-fi horror-like. I really like the environments, the vibe, and the gameplay, especially using the powers. The games are great stuff, and it's still a blast to play through after all these years. You can get both the remastered versions of 1 and 2, as well as Infinite, with all the single-player DLC included, for just $9.99 via the BioShock collection. It's absolutely worth it. It's a good value. Destroy All Humans is a game where you play as an alien sent to Earth in the 1950s to harvest DNA from humans in order to clone more of his species. Set in an open world, you'll need to use the various weapons, gadgets, and vehicles to rule the Earth and complete your goal. It was a bit of a hit back then when it was released, and a few years ago, it was remade for modern platforms with a huge visual overhaul. That said, it stays true to the original game in terms of gameplay, for better or worse. If you want to check out the remake on Switch, then consider picking it up at its new low price in the eShop. It's $13.99 until November 1st. The closest we've ever gotten to a proper Jaws game is Maneater, a game where you play as a mutant shark, chomping and eating everything in your path, and that includes tons of people. While it's not the most complex game out there, I found it fun for what it is for the runtime of the game. I mean, again, you basically play as Jaws. It's a great game to be a monster in for Halloween. It's on sale for $13.99 via the latest eShop sale. Little Goody Two Shoes is part horror-themed adventure game, part RPG, where you play as Elise, a girl with a big dream of becoming as rich as possible. Unfortunately, she hasn't attained that goal yet, but one day, she discovers a pair of shoes, and her universe gets flipped upside down. She must then go on a quest that drives her closer into the woods, while completing tasks and minigames to try to reach her dreams. Featuring 10 possible endings, the game's outcome is determined by your choices and actions. Choose wisely and see where this fairy tale ends up. You're looking for a fun, creepy tale for Halloween? Try Little Goody Two Shoes for $11.99. Tormented Souls is a game for players who long for the old-school classic survival horror era. This game is heavily inspired by those games in the genre from the late 90s and early 2000s. You gotta fight off horrors, solve puzzles, and navigate through a dark mansion that seems ready to consume you at every turn. That all said, this is a damn good game. It's very well done, it's spooky and enjoyable. Look, a lot of these inspired games tend to miss the mark or have major flaws, but Tormented Souls is a game that succeeds, and it's a game you really want to play if you're a fan of horror. If you like these kinds of games, then do yourself a favor and pick up Tormented Souls for just $5.99, which is a brand new low price for it on the eShop. Halloween is for the monsters, so that means there has to be at least one kaiju-themed game on this list. My pick goes to Dawn of the Monsters. This game combines manga-style artwork with kaijus and beat-em-up gameplay, and it's a dream. In this game, monsters have invaded Earth, and it's up to the Defense Alliance Worldwide Network, aka Dawn, to deploy their own kaijus to stop the threat. It's a fun game overall. Again, I love the manga art style, the gameplay. It's a pretty good game. The full game, plus arcade, plus character DLC pack bundle, adds a new arcade mode, plus a new character to play as, in addition to a new nightmare difficulty mode, and much more. It's on sale for $17.49 during the Halloween sale. Dying Light is a horror-filled treat. It's a zombie survival game that has you fighting off enemies while performing parkour and all that to get around hordes in order to complete your missions. Now, the definitive edition here includes all the DLC ever for the game, all the content, updates, everything. With everything that's included, you can easily spend over 100 hours or more trying to complete and do everything. In addition, the Switch version has gyro aiming support, as well as local multiplayer support, and even online play too. It runs well on the system, has all the content, and for $8.49, it's one of the best deals on Switch. Lost in Random is a gothic-themed game where you play as a girl named Even who goes on a quest to save her sister. She soon encounters the mysterious dice creature named Dicey, and together with his abilities, they try to turn the tide of the world of Random in her favor. Beyond the aesthetics, which I love the gothic Tim Burton-like vibes this game has, the gameplay is pretty cool too. It combines third-person combat with the use of deck building and dice mechanics. It's a really unique game and a perfect fit for this time of year to play. It's on sale for $4.49, which is a small price to pay for a hidden gem like this one. Some of my favorite games to replay around this time of year are the Castlevania games. I mean, what better way to get into the Halloween season than to take on Dracula and his minions, am I right? A great collection to pick up on sale right now is the Castlevania Advance Collection, which contains all 3 games that appeared on the Game Boy Advance, as well as Dracula X from the Super Nintendo. This is on sale for $11.99. The Castlevania Anniversary Collection is fantastic too. It's only $3.99, and this has all 3 NES Castlevania games, the first 2 Game Boy games, and Super Castlevania, Castlevania Bloodlines, and Kid Dracula. And to top it off, it includes all the Japanese versions too. There's a tremendous value here. Oh, and by the way, the Konami Arcade and Contra Anniversary Collections are also on sale during the Halloween sale for $3.99 each. We need to pick them up too. Catherine is a puzzle game from Atlas about a man named Vincent Brooks. This guy is very troubled. He seems to be having supernatural nightmares, while also having mixed feelings about his longtime girlfriend, and a girl that he seems to meet out of nowhere one night, who he just might have cheated on his girlfriend with. His punishment? Death, apparently. At night, you'll need to guide him up a tower of blocks to somehow live another day, while also dealing with the ramifications of his actions during the daytime, and it's no easy task. The full body edition adds lots of new content, including a new character named Ren, who impacts the story in various ways. This is one of my favorite weird and twisted games for the Switch. Catherine Full Body is $9.99 via the latest sale. Mary Skelter Finale is the 3rd and latest entry in the Dungeon Crawler RPG series from Compile Heart and Idea Factory. Just like the previous games, you're tasked with guiding a group of blood maidens through living dungeons while taking on hideous enemies and bosses while also solving puzzles. A lot of the RPG mechanics revolve around the use of blood and managing it. Too much blood gives you access to powerful massacre and blood skelter abilities, but can also lead to a lot of negative effects, depending on the corruption levels. It is an interesting mechanic. Beyond the general game, there's lots of commission missions to take on, and new features that are exclusive to the game, like the zapping system that allows you to switch out groups at any time, basically allowing you to use whatever characters you need. It's on sale in the eShop at a brand new low price of $9.99. Speaking of dungeon crawlers, the Etrian Odyssey games are some of the best out there. The HD remasters via the Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection are quite good. They look great, with improvements made for single-screen use, as well as Switch touchscreen support added too. And in addition, there's a new remastered soundtrack and some quality of life features. The collection contains the remastered games of 1, 2, and 3, and it's on sale for a brand new low price of $31.99. Honestly, it's a damn good value for what you're getting. Save the day, find love, fill out your social calendar, and oh yeah, summon demons, deities, monsters, and more in some of the best JRPGs ever made. I'm talking about the Persona games. They are so good. If you've been meaning to get them on the Switch, they're on sale for cheap right now. 3 and 4 are on sale for $11.99 each, with a double pack on sale for less than $22 too, and Persona 5 Royal is on sale for $23.99 too. That marks a brand new low price for it on the eShop. If you like games like the Monster Hunter series, or Dauntless, or stuff like that have you fighting against monsters either solo or with a group, then a good one to check out is God Eater 3 on Switch. It's very similar to the Monster Hunter games, though there's more of a focus on story elements, and the weapon system is a bit different. I said, it's a fun game to play, it's really cool, a blast with friends too, and it's on sale for $9.59. Make sure to check it out if you're looking for a good game to beat up monsters in for Halloween. Being Halloween and all, you cannot forget about the Resident Evil games. They're always good for a playthrough around this time of year. On Switch, there's a sale for the classic games. Resident Evil 1 Remastered, 0, 4, 5, and 6 are all on sale for $9.99 each. Of course, RE5 and 6 support online play for those who want to play multiplayer. Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 are on sale for $7.99 each, and they support co-op play too. In addition to the Resident Evil sale, the Devil May Cry series is also on sale, and if I had to recommend one, it'd be 3 Special Edition. Hard as the game might be, it's still a great game. It's fun as hell to stunt on those monsters, and it's great for those who want some horror fun without the spooks or scares. Games 1, 2, and 3 are on sale for $9.99 on the eShop. One of the Capcom HD remasters that gets kinda slept on is Onimusha Warlords. I think they did a really good job with this version of the game. It looks great, it's now in widescreen, with a new soundtrack option too, as well as improved controls. Again, I think it's a great version of the game to play. Onimusha Warlords is a classic game. It's an action-adventure game that borrows elements of the Resident Evil series that takes place during the Sengoku period, and has you squaring off against Japanese demons as a samurai. I mean, come on, if that doesn't sell you on it, I don't know what will. Seriously though, check it out. It's just $9.99 via the sale. And there you go, a massive ton of noteworthy games from the Halloween sale. Let me know if you plan on picking up anything from the sale, as well as let me know what your gaming plans are for Halloween. As I said earlier, I'm currently going through the first BioShock game. Plus I plan on playing some Super Castlevania, as well as my annual playthrough of Ghostbusters Remastered, a game of which I'm shocked isn't on sale this year. Anyway though, that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the next video.